of the bad crowd a biker crowd. Was encouraged to get on the back of a motorcycle, some random stranger, in what once was, back in the day, a dirt parking lot. You may notice caps right now. And this bad boy biker, he put Rita on the back of his bike. And then he took off, and she fell down. But Rita did not stay in the dirt, ladies and gentlemen. Not for nothing was this woman named Most Outstanding Woman in South Dakota in 1971. This woman right here. Okay, easy folks, there was 9 people in South Dakota in 1971. Like seriously, come on. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Rita Ullmann. Your life is your responsibility. Don't be afraid to turn the page.
This is me on the left with my mother and my 2 sisters, and we lived in northwestern Montana. And we had a wonderful life and a family. It was at that same age of 17 that I found myself where I had sex for the first time. I got pregnant, married, and moved 1,000 miles away to South Dakota. After I was there for a while, I found out that he was physically abusive. And I called my mother and I told her what had happened to me. And she said, "You've made your bed, now lie in it." I did. I made the best of it. We were married for 20 years. We had 3 children. And I got rid of the son of a bitch. Yeah. I went on and I got my high school diplomas, and I went on to college and had 2 jobs as well. And then I met the man, the love of my life. I remember the first time I danced with him, I just felt like Cinderella. It was wonderful. We got married and we had 2 children. He was kind, he tried to get me to get my self-esteem and everything back, and he had me take flying lessons. I had to stop in the middle of this and have a baby, but I did get the pilot's license. We lived on a ranch in South Dakota, 15 miles from town. And he came to me one day and he says, "Would you ever live on a boat?" And I go, "Oh yes, darling, how do you live?" Well, there she is. It was it was a bare boat, and there was nothing done on the inside. We had to build it totally. We felled trees in Illinois on the family farm, brought it back, sold it into lumber, and we built the interior with oak wall and cherry trees, and sometimes we built part of it in the kitchen on the table. It was, when we were working on it, we worked in the hangar, and my daughter helped us a lot of times, and we enjoyed having her there. And we finally got it done, and it took us 10 years. Then the boat was ready and trucked to Red Wing, Minnesota, just missing a snowstorm in South Dakota. And it went in the Mississippi River in Red Wing, Minnesota. We traveled on the map. You'll see we came down at Mississippi and down to the Tom Bigby Waterway, through the Okeechobee, all the way to Boston, and south through the islands to Trinidad and Venezuela. Oh, this picture, my daughter said I had to put it on because I look like such a badass. I don't think it was quite that bad. It had more to do with courage or stupidity because I didn't know how to swim. The boat returned to South Dakota, or Maryland, and we bought a home there, which we lived for 20 years. And Bill helped people move boats down through Florida and everything, and I worked at the Costin House, Dr. Costin's house, and I was chairman of the board for 14 years. It was a good time. And then my husband passed away. The boat was damaged in a storm, and I gave it away. And that was probably the most difficult page to turn. I got a hold of my kids, and I said I wanted to go back to South Dakota. We got a U-Haul, and these are my kids, and you get 3 40-year-olds, and you go 2,000 miles away. It's a fast trip. It's fun. We stopped in Cincinnati and went up into Illinois and visited his family, and went all the way to South Dakota. And I'm there with my daughter and her husband on a farm just out of Timberlake, South Dakota. That's where I am now. Don't ever be afraid to change the page, because you know when you don't know what's on the other side and what there is out there for you, and it could be better than you've ever known. Don't be afraid. Never be afraid to the page.